in here, it looks like we have Lord Monte starting in Link's house as well as Jet. Both of them heading out immediately the route up north to continue further on. Lord Monty's going to do the take a sign with him strats, while Jetabb is going to throw a few bushes at some guards. And I believe I've just been joined by our replacement host currently. I cannot say the name very well, so I'll let him introduce himself. It starts with an E and ends with a Kos. As soon as he gets off mute. Well, Uncle has a quartered heart. And getting a little bit of buffering here. Missed that. Maybe we'll catch a lure. It looks like 5 rupees, which is actually the prize that you'll get after you collect the lamp. There are 2 other items in the game that are normally the lamp for 5 rupees. And let's give it up for our tracker today. Buckshot Boo 24 is going to be doing a great job for us, making sure that we know exactly what each runner has at any given time, be able to catch all the things that I potentially miss. We got Jetabb going to go ahead and make a kill and check the poultry prize. It's 80 rupees. That's always nice to find relatively early. They haven't killed too many things, so it's good to know that. And what do we have? We got 5 rupees coming out of the hoarder.
Hi, Vitor. Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. Need to make sure the mic was on and trying to the stream settled.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Epipoliticos.
Epipoliticus.
Epipoliticus, I was close.
Yeah, you are.
This is my co-commentator for the remainder of this match. The Group F, basically finals to get out of the group. Either one of these players gets the win here, goes straight on into the brackets. So a super hype match.
Exciting one, and perhaps of some import to you personally, I know, for this being your own group.
Yeah, well, I was kind enough. See, if you're in my group, you end up getting dev seeds thrown at you, but I waited until I finished my matches with everybody so it wouldn't throw them off or get them confused against me. But after that, they were welcome to play some of the new Key Sanity stuff that we're dev testing and a few other little fun things.
Right. Well, very cool. We got a map check. Looks like crystals all around. I don't know if that was news or not.
That was definitely news, at least to me.
All right. Maybe so.
You know, if you have that information this early in a race, it's kind of slightly out of the way, but you're in the area.
Right.
I think it's huge information to have. We also just picked up the blue cane for Lord Monte in Blind's hut.
Nice, and look like a shield in this final chest that we're going to see him go pick. But yeah, if you can get that info on the chance it pays off, and that chance is not very good, it will put you at a distinct advantage because you enter your dungeons in a very different attitude than your opponent, knowing that, hey, I've got to go get that whatever item. I guess also it may be hard to evaluate at this point whether or not certain items are going to be required.
Certainly, but you would have a good concept if it's like you could at least, if you find out Ice Rod is there, you can be like, all right, back in my head, as soon as I enter Dark World, I need to know if Turtle Rock is required.
Exactly.
And they do know that 3 Dark World dungeons are not required, so that's got to make them feel a little bit better about this particular run.
Yeah, definitely. Always interesting to see which ones they end up being.
I tell you, 100% of the time when I do pedestal runs, like I'm doing pedestal only in this, Turtle Rock is one of those pendant dungeons, and I don't know why.
Right. And it's probably the most welcome.
And it looks like LordMonte's going for it.
Yeah, hey, gotta dig it just for the opportunity. It's not much time to invest, so I think no matter what, it's a worthwhile play. It's just a matter of making sure you use the information later. Alright, and there we go. Head dead.
That would be +5 or +10 bombs.
Right.
But I mean, that's huge information. Jet may, later in this particular run, have the concept of, all right, is there something there? Do I have to go back for it?
Right.
A lot less likely with pendants not in the light world, but go ahead.
And I was going to say, and he may have that thought not when he's near the pedestal, but when he's near a boss room. May decide to take on what he knows is not an item-bearing boss fight.
Exactly.
And then lose the time that way, so... yeah, this could work out for Lord.
LordMonte definitely has that super advantage of anytime he enters a pendant dungeon, if he feels that he needs to go searching for something, he doesn't have to kill bosses.
Right.
Ooh, we found out where the green pendant was.
Very nice.
Hanging out in the Palace of Darkness. And
right. And a very blue back half of a Sahasra with the flipper and the ice rod.
That guy is just hoarding all the fun items.
Yeah, how about it? He's a cool guy or something. But pretty interesting to get that flipper so early. Gonna be able to see our players not have to sequence break into the waterfall wishing if they so desire to route it.
That is correct. Also, they are very rupee healthy at this point, so having those flippers is like he just gets to route the entirety of Hobo, Zora, and our fairy that you had just mentioned.
Yeah, probably you're gonna see these guys with that heavy on their mind. Especially while they're still quite in search of a permanent weapon. Just wanting to do some things that maybe don't involve so much combat, like the bomb lottery here.
But they have the blue cane. That's one of the best weapons.
You're not wrong. And now they've got ether, but no sword. No hook shot. Very nice.
Now, hook shot is an excellent weapon. Kills about, I would say, 1/3 of the enemies outright. Stuns the rest. You can just kind of... Oh, they got the red cane. We must have missed when that happened.
Yeah. Wow. We're packing both canes, at least on Jetabb's side.
Which is kind of weird that they're throwing bomb. Well, at least the Jetabb was throwing bombs. If you have the red cane, I think I'd much rather throw the Samaria blocks around.
Right, if you miss, you can run over, pick it up, and deal with that. I guess with magic being a bit low, that's something to consider.
Okay.
Oh, we are getting a magic item use from LordMonte, but he's having a bit of trouble aiming those ice beams. They are admittedly a bit clunky.
They're certainly slower than the fire rod, and also he had that Moldorm right up on top of him, so the rod portion was actually going past it, and it was firing on the other side of that guy.
Right, firing it over his shoulder or whatever sort of anatomy Moldorms have.
They only have the best anatomy.
Yeah. Weird hamburger segments.
And our hobo has just the 10 bomb upgrade, so we know for sure that the pedestal is the +5.
Right.
And we can all rest easy now.
Right, yeah. Hot takes on the pedestal action. Oh, man.
So a lot of items and not much progression.
Right. I mean, the hook shot will be important once it's comboed with one or two other items. The canes are more useful in the dungeons than anywhere.
Yep. We have essentially the desert is the only opened up place to us from the original kind of locations you can get to.
Yeah, and looks like that's going to be what Jetabb is up to. See an early Agina check.
I agree with this. I mean, it's a location that since V26 has been a lot more, apt to have things, and that sprite just gets lost in the water. Sorry.
Yeah, we got LordMonte swimming around with his blue outline. I do love the concept for this sprite though. It's super fun.
He's gonna go pick up his bomb upgrade and our first bottle.
Yeah, with the fairy inside even.
That's actually really good. Although not something like you want a fairy in a bottle, but you don't when you don't have the mirror, because you're probably gonna death warp in the early game.
Right. And that is the thing that we've seen many of our runners sort of accidentally put themselves into, is burning the fairy trying to death warp.
Yes, I myself have been guilty of that a few times. It's just there's nothing worse than dying and getting revived, and you're just like, I'm just gonna walk out of this dungeon or save and quit now.
Right, to go, the shame and quit. But yeah, just a vanilla hard piece there on the desert ledge, so he'll be spending most of his time going up in this dungeon.
Yeah, so at the very least, he gets one item, maybe. Like, he gets to check one location, he gets to see a second location. There's a chance he actually gets to go a lot further into the dungeon. About a 66% chance he gets to at least see a little bit more of the dungeon.
Yeah, we're gonna have a couple of gates here. There might be something on the torch. We may not have the lift upgrade to get in the back, and it would be very lucky to have this laid out in such a way that we could get a lift upgrade and some fire and just finish the dungeon. But we're seeing there was a small key in the big chest. So he's going to make this long, slow walk back over to the right. And what do we got back here? Well, that ends up being a bit of a nothing. Well, we got LordMonte checking the back of Escape now.
I'm gonna have to rely on you. My eyes are deceiving me at the moment. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and the Jetabb's finally getting over to us. Hostile, gonna get that ice rod, gonna get those flippers, gonna feel a little bit better about moving around the water. Looks like LordMonte ended up, going back into the dark escape. Using the echolocation there.
The hookshot, not exactly the best one that you want. Probably the second or third best one, though. It'll allow you to hook up to the torch in the last room and then find yourself from there. The only problem with it is it doesn't let you move when you're hookshotting.
Right. So you only get a picture of just the moment you're at.
Yeah, and if you happen to do it in the wrong direction, you get a long picture. But he ended up getting the boomerang, which is by far my most favorite boomerang.
Understandable. Got a, well, it's a great color for one thing, and I know favored for its lack of lag.
That's true. Red's okay. But it's all about the blue.
He's gonna put it to work on those spear guards.
Absolutely. Probably go in and check the well, we had a short hook shot there. If you don't, if our audience doesn't know what's happening there, this happens with any with the hook shot or the boomerangs. When you shoot it out, each sprite that can search for you actually has a sprite moving around the room that it's using to search for you. And when you short hook or short boom, you're actually hitting that search sprite.
Oh,
and yeah, and it gets knocked back at you, and you actually trigger them finding you at that exact same time because you're basically hitting their search sprite.
Wow, I did not know that. But these are the things that I would expect to learn from one of the rando devs. That's awesome, though. And that explains so much, because first I was like, well, wait a minute, is it like I have to hold it down a certain amount of time? Was something I had always thought it was. But then that never seemed to be the case.
Yeah, most people will consistently notice it in Aghanim's Tower, on the very thin room. The two sword guards, 2 rooms before Aghanim.
Oh, we got flute out of the big chest in Eastern.
What?
Yeah, not to interrupt, but...
No, that interrupt away. That is
so
much cooler than... even short hook there again. And we also found out the stun prize is 5 arrows.
Very nice. At the very least, they won't be hurting for that when they're in Ganon's Tower, provided they remember.
Yeah. Well, I think in most times I go through this, I always forget until I do the left side of Ganon's Tower, the room with the Stelphoses. Stelphi? We'll call them Stelphi.
Yeah, sure.
When you I always walk in that room and like hook shot him and then find out for like that's probably the only time I usually figure out what the stun prize is.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh man, fairies, this would have been so useful.
Sometimes it is.
Right.
Where you find out it's 20 rupees and you're just like, huh, that time I farmed for Zora.
Oh no, yeah. But then another item out of Eastern being the Quake Medallion, so we're 2/3 of the way to safety on Turtle Rock and Misery Mire.
Absolutely. Lord Monty deciding to go all the way down to the Zelda cell, I guess not counting items because I'm pretty sure did the back of escape, walked in and did the dark area.
And then, then went all the way through again. Yeah.
So, if Jetabb does that, hopefully he does a item count on his way down and knows to stop once he hits the, I think
it's like the boomerang chest, yeah.
Yeah.
Both of our runners heading back to the village now.
Well, we each have some items. Got some bottles to show off and some flutes to activate.
Indeed. What's Sick Kid got today? Giving his heart away.
Yep, he's not going to make it to the end of this game.
Ah, shucks. That evil mountain air.
You know, I always wondered if the original like devs of this game thought about what certain sprites would look like in the Dark World, because I mean they obviously have some of them that they had to do for the story of the game.
Right.
But like, what would Sick Kid look like in the Dark World?
Huh. Well, you know what you really ever... Well, I guess no, in the credits you see him jumping around.
Yeah, because he gets his net back.
Bring out accident!
Welcome back, everybody. We have
Yeah.
LordMonte and Jetabb still going around. Jetabb's taking his little trip up to Zora, and LordMonte is about to jump into the desert.
Quite right. Just praying the rocks away.
Have you ever played in the rain state in this game?
Like, messed around glitching wise?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
At
I'm sure
some
you've got a
points-
cool story to tell.
No, well, it's more. There's a certain hack that like sets you off in the rain state for a fair portion of the game, and it's important to note that overworld sprites do not load in the rain state.
Interesting.
Which means desert is entirely open because those three heads that spin around it are sprites.
Oh, right. Makes a lot of sense, yeah. So if you get out there, you can just walk right in.
You know, from time to time, you'll have those frames getting chewed up, but these guys are professional runners. They know what they're doing. We
Yep.
still don't have a sword. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. No, I was just saying that, or agreeing with you there, that, you know, these guys know what they're doing, and it looks like we're probably getting a little bit of a switch over. If I had to guess, I don't know if we're actually even up live. Is that a Zelnus?
Who's my charger?
That would be Buckshot.
Okay. You'll have to use multi-twitch.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Alright, so these guys, well, I guess I'm just gonna run the runner's command. Alright.